matters.
Attorney Ed Robinson with Cannon and Dunphy.
Unexpected medical bills and wage loss may result in financial uncertainty and stress. In such difficult times, some insurance companies will seek to offer you a quick settlement that will shortchange you in the end. Don't let the insurance company win. Instead, hire the experienced and dedicated team at Cannon and Dunphy. Results matter. Let us put our winning lineup of attorneys and staff to work for you.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
You shouldn't have to pay a fortune for your dry cleaning, and soon you won't have to. That's right, CD1 Price Cleaners is coming to the Milwaukee area with multiple stores this spring. CD1 Price Cleaners will dry clean any garment for just $3. Pants, $3. Dresses, $3. Winter coats, yep, you guessed it, $3. CD1 Price Cleaners opening this spring across the Milwaukee area. Proud partner of the Brewers Radio Network.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Half off all memberships when you sign up in January.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, testimony from the partner of slain Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder.
I'm Julia Fellow. A deal to end the longest government shutdown.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have some debris in the roadway. 894 southbound, right about at Greenfield Avenue, off on the right shoulder. Just watch out for that. We got eastbound 94 backing up from about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound, very heavy from 27th Street to Hawley Road. Southbound on 43 backing up from just before Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette. Back on the brakes from Beecher Street down to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a wintry mix north, a low of 34 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the partner of slain Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder takes the stand in his alleged murderer's trial. Prosecutors played back footage from Officer Christopher McCrae's body camera.
Shots fired! Shots fired! My partner's hit! My partner's hit! Corder!
23-year-old Tremaine Jones faces 4 felony charges in the death of Corder. Officer McCrae was shot 3 times. Officer Corder died from his injuries 3 days later.
A Rock County mother accused of killing her own child she's accused of killing her own child, told a dispatch operator it was to protect the child from Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
Thais Oninsky is charged with stabbing her 14-year-old daughter to death while on drugs, claiming it was to protect her from someone who she later identified to a dispatch operator as Musk. Oninsky's attorney, Matt Lanta.
The risk of harm here is clearly localized to herself and the victim here.
Prosecutor Richard J. Sullivan disputes that notion.
When we're talking about an unsolicited, unprovoked attack, that does put the public at risk.
Bond has been set at $1 million. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
After weeks of gridlock, GOP congressional leaders say they've reached a deal to fully fund the Department of Homeland Security, despite Democrats' demands for reforms at ICE. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The Republican leaders of the House and Senate say to fully reopen DHS, they'll work on 2 parallel tracks, with an appropriations bill that funds everything but ICE and the Border Patrol, and then backfilling both agencies via budget reconciliation, a process that Democrats in the Senate can't block with a filibuster. That's the same process the GOP used last year to pass the tax and spending package that became known as the One Big Beautiful Bill. President Trump says he wants this new reconciliation bill on his desk by June 1st.
Coming up, another home game win.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:06.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
There I was outside doing some yard work when I noticed my neighbor looking over his windows. He's climbing up and down his ladder, and I hear him holler to his wife, "Honey, we're gonna need a few new windows." So I took a walk over and said, "Hi Ron, do you mind if I take a look?" He said, "Go right ahead." And I said, "You know, the window itself, which is the framework to the glass here, looks fine. And the sill, which is the bottom of the framework, that's fine too. It's the glass that needs replacing. The seal must be broke, and that lets in the moisture we're seeing. That's why your windows are fogging up." And he said, "So I don't need new windows?" And I said, "No, actually, if you want, I can have the glass replaced, and they'll basically be as good as new. And believe me, it'll cost you a lot less than replacing these." This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers take the series against the Rays. An 8-2 win this afternoon at American Family Field. They hit the road on Friday. And the Bucks are in Houston tonight against the Rockets. Coverage starting at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:08.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fellow, joined in studio by
Oh, yeah! He's our guy. 1017 The Truth's Tori Lowe, the best chair dancer in the building. Tori, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for having me. Hey, I love the intro.
That's sweet.
Pow!
We don't got intros that sweet.
I know.
That's good. You deserve it. You deserve
Thank
every
you.
good thing
That's
that happens
what's up.
to you. Part of the reason I say that is especially today, you were involved in making sure things stayed settled down and calm when a teen takeover was alleged to have happened at the Market Hall. Talk about teen takeovers. What's going on and what happened yesterday?
Well, I think that we had a whole show today trying to peel the layers back on these teen takeovers because it's happening in Atlanta, Chicago, New York, Louisiana, all at the same time, simultaneously. So at first we thought that this was something that was more isolated to Milwaukee, but now it looks more something like it's a larger organization going on with these teen takeovers in several cities across the United States.
So it happened at the Bayshore Town Center over the weekend. It turned into melee. There were fists flying. One of the Glendale police officers was taking down two people in the middle of Port Washington Avenue, John, right before you get onto I-43 or get off I-43. And then Moody Park, there was an actual shooting that took place. And then yesterday is when Tori Lowe saw on social media that there was going to be a teen takeover here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. And outside, it was supposed to happen right at 3 o'clock, right when our show started. And there was a paddy wagon outside, dozens of police that were patrolling the area in here. And I think that Tori being able to tip off the police and working with the community stopped it.
What happened out there?
Well, the thing is, I made sure that I broadcasted, hey, look, don't come down here. They're not going to play with you. They're not going to allow downtown to be riddled with chaos. And we right next to the first district. So they had enough police officers down here beforehand. And they also had a lot of the community organizations, 414 Life was down here definitely trying to kind of, if it was going to happen, they were going to be able to have the resources here to probably kind of deflect it. But I went outside. I made a live post as well. Hey, look, don't come down here. And I think that many times when we do deferring ideas, we put that out there before it happens. I think that it could have been a turnoff.
What are these
come down.
teens hoping and trying to accomplish? What's this all about?
They're associating this with spring break. They're saying that they're making these flyers. It's spring break. We got a lot of teens sitting idle, and they're gathering due to the fact that they may be looking for something to do. Now, when I was down at Bayshore, I noticed that most of those teens were well-dressed. They had their good clothes on like they was going to some kind of concert. And I was like,
interesting.
Yeah, it was like, what is this? And then I noticed that nobody stole anything. Like there was no reports of stealing. So I'm like, okay, what is this? And when I started looking and digging deeper, I started seeing that there's some people that are organizing these teen takeovers on dummy pages on social media.
Yep.
And these teens are just kind of reacting to these flyers. And many times you get teens that are there to try to have a gathering. Then you got teens that are there to cause chaos. And then when you got a combination of that and a lot of energy without organization turns into chaos.
So I talked to a police officer today who said he's fearful that this could mean that it's going to be a summer full of this sort of activity.
That's awful.
This is already, not even April. We just got to April.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, we got to make sure we come up with ways as a community to redirect the energy into something more positive, or we're going to have more of what took place at Summerfest and all these other different festivals that we were wondering, scratching our heads, why did this happen? So I think now we can get in front of it. We can look at it as, hey, look what's going to happen, or we can come up with ideas to get in front of it and redirect the energy.
And have people come to the Tory Low cleanup. When is that?
Oh, April 18th, the Tory Low cleanup. Get out, bring your family, go to torylowcleanup.com. And many times if your child was out involved in this, make sure that they come out to the cleanup so they can get around people that can redirect the energy in a more positive way.
It's a great way to spend your energy. Tori Lowe, 1017 The Truth. Tori, we always appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
It is 4:14 at WTMJ. A new honor for Jordan Stolz. That's up next.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life, rejuvenate.
So it's all too common of a story. And it's common enough that we account for a certain percentage of our new patients to make their first appointment and get cold feet. They put it off. I'm not sure why, because our physicians are offering legitimate medical pain relief treatment. The combination of hyaluronic acid and Toradol cushions joints and has an extremely powerful effect in reducing inflammation. So much so that a vast majority of Rejuvenex patients report a significant improvement with their pain. I guess it's human nature. But sometimes human nature keeps us in our comfort zone, even when it means remaining living in pain. So after you make your appointment to alleviate your pain, and that little voice tries to convince you to put it off, don't, because your pain problems can be solved, and you can live a better life.
Rejuvenate. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Hey everybody, Debbie Loziga here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. Do you know the secret to losing up to a pound of fat every day? Well, at Milwaukee Weight Loss, they know the secret. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections with the risk of serious side effects. It's great. Their program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. As a matter of fact, I had my appointment with my coach coach today, and I'm still on track. I'm in the maintenance part of the program, and I'm still down about 20 pounds. Their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. You got to go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com and schedule your free consultation. Lots of patients lose from 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. That's about a pound a day. And for a limited time, they have a great deal going on. Get $200 off with their spring special. Book your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and weather. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there, John. Well, things are kind of backed up right now. We've got southbound 43 backing up from just before North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Northbound just a little heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue up to north. Westbound 94 heavy from 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. On the eastbound side, we got some backups from 70th Street all the way to 35th. And then on northbound 41, backing up from Watertown Plank Road all the way past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, chance for a wintry mix to the north, a low of 34. Tomorrow, rain is likely. Quite a bit of rain and windy, a high of 61. On Friday, becoming sunny, mild, a high of 58. Saturday, rain is likely, a high of 58. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a high of 47 degrees. Hey, Jordan Stolz, something cool happening for the Olympian. Kewaskum has announced a big old parade. He won 3 medals at the Olympics.
Aww.
The village will hold a parade to honor the speed skater on April 10th at 4 o'clock. April 10th is a Saturday, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because
probably
the
look
10th,
this up.
yeah, I was actually just looking, and the 9th is a Thursday, 10th Friday, so yeah.
Oh, so it's
Wait.
okay, it's Friday then. You're right. You're right.
Sorry.
It's Friday.
Okay.
Okay. So this is really, really cool. Parade through all of downtown. Then he's going to go to the field house in Kewaskum at the high school and answer questions, sign stuff, just hang out. They're also going to rename Fond du Lac Avenue temporarily for the day, Jordan Stolz Avenue. They ought to name it permanently.
Oh, my goodness,
What
of
biggers
course.
come out of Kewaskum? Name the road after him.
I
for
know.
gosh
I think
sakes.
that'd be fantastic. And I did a job fair for TMJ4 News with the students there, and that district is so kind. And
That's
to know that he
nice.
came out of there and the students are so
Yep.
eager, it'll mean so much. And also, there's a Boys and Girls Club right connected to the school, so they could go.
Listen to this cool statement. I don't usually read statements from press releases, but this is what the Kewaskum Village president said in his press release. This is about more than celebrating an incredible athlete. It's about celebrating what's possible for every young person in our community. Jordan's story shows kids that work hard, have support and determination, can achieve amazing things. That's what the Kewaskum Village president, Fuzz Martin, said. Isn't that nice?
Fuzz?
Isn't that a funny name? That's a total Wisconsin name.
Love it.
Hey, Fuzz Martin. It's 4:19 at WTMJ. Ann Sayers, the travel secretary, up next.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Car Edge. Hey, are you tired of the car buying process? Yep. My friends at Car Edge communicate with multiple local dealerships for you, scoring you the best deal while you remain completely anonymous. Check out their glowing reviews. Car Edge saved one customer 14% off MSRP on a 2025 Jetta without even having to step foot in the dealership. They're expert negotiators that know all the tricks of the trade. For a limited time, WTMJ fans get 20% off their services. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and maestro of metaphor. What do you have for us today?
Dad, buying a home is a lot like having a baby. And it turns out that in today's extra competitive market, getting real estate pregnant with your offer accepted is the hardest part. So along with your agent, your Accunet loan consultant will do everything possible to get your real estate bun in the oven.
Yep, we can definitely help buyers make their offers more competitive. Okay, so once you've made the real estate baby, so to speak, what else do buyers and their agents want?
As a son, now this is getting gross and I regret the metaphor. But the next thing everyone wants are regular checkups and an on-time delivery. That's where Accunet really shines, with proactive weekly updates to reassure the sometimes nervous homeowners-to-be that everything's okay and on track.
It all starts with a rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval, and our home buying clinic is always open. Just click on the blue button at Accunet.com to get started. That's ACCUNET.com.
Business owners
and right-hand men and women.
When you make the catering call for your office gathering,
make it Marty's Pizza.
For pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more.
Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks.
Our catering delivery range has expanded.
All the way east into Brookfield.
Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
You're simply the best.
Start your spring getaway at TravelWisconsin.com. We have our wonderful travel secretary, Ann Sayers, joining us. Ann, thank you for joining us. And we're talking about what's new in tourism.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. And you know, just when you think you've seen it all in Wisconsin, you haven't. There's so much more to do.
I know, and I love the new lodging options for unforgettable overnights in our state.
Yeah, this is so cool. So you can visit the Manitowoc area this year for a new overnight option. It's called the Violet Inn. It's an adults-only boutique hotel. It recently opened in neighboring Two Rivers, or Trivers. The inn draws from the Danish concept of hygge, you know, that mix of coziness, well-being, and connection. Yeah, and the 6 guest rooms are all stylishly decorated. There's a large, airy common space that encourages guests to meet and mingle. You can also keep an eye out for a new lodging experience in the Wisconsin Dells. It's the Delshire Resort, which is anticipated to open this spring. It's a medieval-themed resort, and they're going to be bringing fantasy to life. So get this, upon arrival, guests will be greeted by a 70-foot-tall, fire-breathing dragon sculpture.
Whoa.
Wow. I know. And then inside the resort, the guest rooms and public spaces will embrace a castle-like design for an immersive experience. Put a little fluff into your 2026 plans by staying at Casa Campo Alpaca Ranch in the Dells. The Alpaca Ranch began welcoming overnight guests last summer, so you'll be surrounded by thoughtfully decorated rooms, but you will also be greeted by a herd of friendly alpaca.
That's so cute.
That's so fun. I'm tell you what, I'm going to need a little hygge after encountering dragons and alpaca at my stays. I'm going to have to check out the Violet Inn. My wife and I bought the little book of hygge a few years ago, completely redesigned our living room space around dampening lights, and especially in winter. And I love it. I love coming home to that kind of just dim orange light in the evening.
I know this place is on my list too.
Have you seen the Delshire Resort in person yet, Ann?
I only drove by, so it's still on my to-do list.
Well, speaking of to-do lists, Ann, we also this year have a growing list of attractions as well as museums across Wisconsin. And we already have so many, but that list is just getting bigger.
Yeah, I have some really cool ideas for you. One, there's a new indoor water park with an outdoor vibe that's planned for the Kalahari later this year. So again, the Wisconsin Dells Resort is constructing an $85 million expansion to create a glass-enclosed indoor water park, but it has a retractable roof. Wow. It's expected to open in the fall, and you can look forward to new thrills, slides, family lagoons, spa amenities, and warm sun, no matter the season. Another one to look out for is the Oneida Nation Museum and Visitor Center. The tribe broke ground in 2025 on a new museum to replace the existing one. It was built in 1979. So this is a $15 million museum. It will grow the exhibit space from 500 square feet to over 20,000 square feet, and that's also planned to open yet this year. And then one more recommendation for you is to visit the new location of the Trout Museum of Art. This museum dates back to 1960, but it's been relocated to a modern, bright, and airy space last fall. The Trout Museum displays wonderful works of art. It's not just trout. And they are curated exclusively for the museum, meaning you won't find these exhibitions anywhere else. And thanks to a very generous donation, admission is free for all of 2026. This is one of my favorite little hidden gems.
So you got me excited, and I thought I was going to walk into the space, and it was just going to be thousands and thousands of fish staring me directly back in the face. But good to know there's more.
Right. I mean, that would be very, very cool. No one's arguing that. But the Trout Museum of Art has so much to offer. It's really a unique experience.
And also, Anne, there's new ways to enjoy the outdoors.
Yes, I love that Wisconsin continues to expand our outdoor offerings. One idea is to plan a mountain biking trip to Door County this summer for newly created trails at Peninsula State Park. This park opened 7.5 miles of dedicated mountain bike trails in 2025, with more expected to open this year. The mountain bike trails are a fresh spin for this favorite park, which attracts 1.3 million visitors every year. They're purpose-built trails. They provide a technical challenge for those who love riding. And then for golfers, you've got to be on the lookout for a trip to Grand Geneva Resort and Spa when they debut Wisconsin's newest short course. It's called Wee Nip, which is set to open this season. It's a 10-hole course aimed at golfers of all skill levels. Golfers are invited to kick off their shoes, like literally, at this laid-back and approachable course. It's inspired by the Scottish term for a small drink, a wee nip. Reflects a playful spirit and will feature music and a viewing area. It's going to be a great course to play for beginners and longtime lovers of golf.
How fun is that?
That's interesting. I've never heard of 10-hole golf. I've heard of 9-hole golf before, but never 10.
Start your spring getaway with TravelWisconsin.com. TravelWisconsin.com, our travel secretary, Ann Sayers. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. 428 at WTMJ. Let's check the markets. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. The Dow was up 224. That's about 0.5%. The NASDAQ up 250. That is more than 1%. The S&P 500 was up 47 points on the day. That is almost 0.75%. Financial planning at every level. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. A trial continues for the man charged in the deadly ambush of a Milwaukee police officer.
I'm Julia Fellow. Kenosha police are searching for a violent assault suspect.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. It's really slow right around this stadium. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes from 27th Street all the way past Hawley Road. The eastbound side also backing up from about 76th Street all the way through the 35th Street area. Now, we've got National Avenue or Highway 59. It's really backed up in both directions right past the stadium interchange. As a matter of fact, Brewers Boulevard southbound is pretty much packed in all the way down. By the time you get to about Greenfield Avenue on Miller Park Way, that actually opens up. Southbound 43 still heavy from about Burleigh down to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A chance of a wintry mix to the north. Showers likely, a low of 34. Very windy tonight. Tomorrow, rain is likely, a half-inch total and windy. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, a high of 61 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the trial of the man accused of killing a Milwaukee police officer continues with body camera footage from the night of the shooting. Officer Kendall Corder was shot and killed last summer after he and his partner, Officer Christopher McCrae, responded to a domestic violence call. Prosecutors played body camera footage from Officer McCrae.
Shots fired! Shots fired! My pointer's down! Corder! What's the people count on that? We need squads here ASAP!
McCrae testified he found his partner not breathing. Corder died 3 days later. 23-year-old Tremaine Jones faces 4 felony charges in the death of Corder. His trial resumes tomorrow morning.
Kenosha police searching for a man in connection to a violent assault that left a woman killed.
Squads responding to the 7428 22nd Avenue address. It looks like the suspect took off westbound. I don't know if KPD has anybody chasing him, but he took off westbound from the address over a fence.
That's police scanner audio. Police are also looking for 33-year-old Marcus Plaza, who's described as a person of interest in connection to this murder. He's described as a black man, approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 190 pounds, last seen wearing dark-colored sweatpants and a white tank top. He's believed to be on foot, and police believe that he was trying to find a ride out of the area.
A Milwaukee man is facing a long list of felony charges after stealing from fast food restaurants for over a year.
47-year-old Teron Jenkins is charged with 18 counts, including multiple burglaries and attempted burglaries. The locations include McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, KFC, and Burger King. Police say Jenkins used tools to force entry, damage safes, and in some cases steal cash and surveillance equipment. Jenkins is due in court May 12th for a scheduling hearing. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
New DNA testing has linked the unsolved death of a teenager in Utah back in 1974 to an infamous serial killer.
Laura Ann Amy went missing Halloween night 51 years ago in Utah County after she left a party to go to a convenience store. Her body was found bound and beaten along a highway about a month later. Investigators have long suspected prolific serial killer Ted Bundy was her killer. Now, based on DNA, the announcement from Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith.
We now have definitive evidence proving that Theodore Ted Bundy murdered Laura, and we can announce that this case is officially closed.
Amy was Bundy's third victim in Utah. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers take the series against the Rays. 8-2 win this afternoon. And the Bucks snapped a 4-game losing streak last night, cruising past the Mavericks. Guys like Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner were back in the lineup. Head coach Doc Rivers.
Don't know what will happen tomorrow, but great to have them tonight. Home games, things like that. Trying to take care of our home crowd, I think it'd be smart.
Bucks are in Houston tonight against the Rockets. Coverage at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Britt Floyd,
The world's premier Pink Floyd experience show returns in 2026 with their most spectacular tour to date. The Moon, the Wall, and Beyond. Experience Pink Floyd's iconic masterpiece, The Dark Side of the Moon, the very best of The Wall, and much more. 2 unforgettable nights at Riverside Theater, Friday, May 22nd and Saturday, May 23rd. Get tickets now at PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945. Otto'sWineandSpirits.com is the website. Employee owned. That means when you walk in there, everybody's in a great mood. They're eager to help you. They've got the best selection at Otto's. They've got the best value at Otto's. They are Wisconsin strong. They'll actually beat any advertised price. Several locations throughout Milwaukee. I go to the one in Menominee Falls, but they're in Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Milwaukee, Cedarburg. It is Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
The rockets on the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center, the Artemis 2 mission to the moon, waiting on the launch there. There's 47 minutes left until the launch window opens, and they're tracking a new battery problem. But the countdown does continue. Ron Guerin is a highly decorated astronaut. He was in space for a long time, 178 days. He did spacewalks. He did all the cool stuff. Ron is with us this afternoon. Hey, Ron, good afternoon. I want to start with what's it like when you're on the pad, the countdown's on, like these guys are right now, and this young lady, and there's a potential issue.
Well, I mean, you're excited, and you definitely don't want to scrub the mission. So whenever there's any issue, you're very concerned about, what's the best way to get through that. Obviously, you want to do it in a way that's safe. There's something called go fever that you don't want everybody to catch, where you might bend the flight rules a little. We certainly don't want that. But except for the one issue that you mentioned, everything else is go. The weather is go, the spacecraft is go, the crew is go. So hopefully they'll be able to work through that.
No kidding. I mean, even when I board a plane, they make me get off. I get upset. I can only imagine this. So what could the battery issue be?
So it's for the launch abort system, the LAS, and right now it's out of temperature limits, and that could be a number of things. It could be a sensor. There's thousands and thousands of sensors, and sometimes they don't work properly. It could be that the battery has some type of degradation, and you certainly don't want that. So what the launch abort system does is, in the event of emergency after launch, or actually even before launch, I believe, you can pull the crew and inside the capsule off the rocket. So it's a very, very important piece of equipment, obviously, and so we definitely want to make sure that that's working.
Ron, what's the coolest part about these moments when you're getting ready to launch off and go where very few people have gone?
Well, I mean, it's certainly, you realize that it's a dream about to come true. You never really believe it's going to happen until it happens. And, every time something, like this launch abort system battery issue comes up, you're wondering whether this is going to stop that dream or delay that dream. But I'm sure they're very, very excited. This is a very historic launch, first time to the moon in 54 years. It's the first step to a permanent human presence on the moon. There's a lot riding on this. It's really, really exciting.
What's riding on this?
The future of the space program, the future of humanity as a multi-planetary species. In Apollo back, 50 plus years ago, we went there to explore the moon. Now we're going to set up the infrastructure to have a permanent human presence on the moon, to basically make the moon the Earth's 8th continent. And from that point, that opens up the rest of the solar system to human exploration. And so this is a very, very critical milestone along that journey.
Astronaut Ron Guerin is with us on WTMJ. 27 hours of extravehicular activity during 4 spacewalks for you, Ron. You're on the U.S. Space Shuttle, the Russian Soyuz spacecraft as well. Can you describe to us what it's like to be outside? You're in space, you're looking at what's going on around, and you're obviously doing some work. What is that like? How can you describe that?
It is surreal. It is an incredibly surreal moment to realize that you're out in the vacuum of space, and the only thing separating you from that vacuum is, paper thin layers of material, and you're seeing the entire universe through your visor, and that is an incredible experience. And like I said, it's a very, very surreal experience. I had a hard time believing what I was seeing was real on my first couple of spacewalks, but then after a while you get used to it, and I believe the reason for that is that everything that we experience in the context of what we have experienced. And when I went out the hatch the first time and the Earth was 250 miles below me, I had no previous context to compare that to. So it was a very moving experience.
Wow. Why has it been more than 50 years since we've been even near the moon?
Well, because we made the decision as a nation that it wasn't that important. Back in the Apollo program, don't quote me on this, but I think it was about 4% of our national budget went to that program to put boots on the moon. We are at a very, very small fraction. It's minuscule, the fraction of our national budget that goes to space exploration. But we do have a new plan to return to the moon, like I said, and this time to stay, to set up a moon base on the moon, to have a permanent human presence on the moon. And, because of the increase in technology and hopefully increases in efficiency, we'll be able to do that within existing budgets.
Hey, we're almost out of time, Ron, but Julie and I were just sitting here talking as you were talking. Mm-hmm. When you're up there, is it like you're looking at a globe? Does it look 3D? What does the Earth look like? Yeah, how do you feel?
Well, it's interesting. When you're sitting on a beautiful beach looking at a beautiful sunset, gravity is pushing you down into that scene. You are within the frame of the masterpiece that you're looking at. But when you're in space, you're outside of it. What's separating you from what you're viewing is a vacuum, is nothingness, is a void. And so you are outside the frame of the masterpiece. And I think that separation has a profound effect on that experience of being out. And so, yes, of course, it's 3D. But the other thing is, and I realized this when I was on a spacewalk, is that your perspective is changing by 5 miles a second. And whenever we see things from multiple perspectives, we start to see them in stereoscopic vision. We start to see the depth of the situation. And that has applications for us on Earth and for problem solving. Being able to incorporate different perspectives into the problem solving process is really clear from space.
It is fascinating stuff. Ron Guerin is a highly decorated astronaut. His book is Floating in Darkness. Ron, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
It's been my pleasure.
41 minutes left. The launch countdown clock is on as they troubleshoot a couple of problems in Florida. We'll talk to a guy who's down there at the launch pad coming up in about 30 minutes here on WTMJ.
At Blaine's, we know you do things your way, so why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the trusted farm essentials you need for spring at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like select Balin hog or cattle fence panels, rewards priced at $32.99, 15% off assorted Hillman hardware, and AgriMaster premium pine shavings just $5.99 a bundle. In store or online, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Connect Chiropractic, focusing on your health, focusing on the community. They're philanthropic, and they're going to make sure you feel great. It's wellness care. It's nuanced. It's gentle. At Connect, they help with allergies, headaches, of course, back and neck pain. That's what they do for me. Voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor by Milwaukee Journal Sentinel readers. Now with locations in Tosa, Delafield, and Oak Creek, it's Connect Chiropractic. No twisting, cracking, popping. No. It's gentle and it's nuanced. Dr. Alex and his teams are going to take care of you. Connect with Connect.
You might think that just because your home's windows are leaking air, foggy, or even broken or cracked, that you need to replace your entire window. But I'm here to tell you that just isn't the case. I mean, if the framework of the window is intact and all that needs to be repaired is the glass, then a quick phone call over to Les's Glass can get you a verbal quote.
Or we can send an estimator out to your home to show you just how much money we can save you versus replacing your entire window. We remove the old glass, install new glass, and voila! You virtually have a brand new window at a fraction of the cost of full window replacement, along with a full 10-year warranty against seal failure too. So give us a call, because I think we can save you a few bucks. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. 20 to 30 pounds. How about a month or two? Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180. Or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or your local CVS.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and then weather at 446. Debbie Lazaga.
Got a little bit of a problem. We have the ramp from Brewers Boulevard northbound to westbound 94. All the lanes there are blocked with an incident, so keep that in mind. It's definitely going to be affecting your ride. Eastbound 94, seeing backups from 70th Street all the way to 35th. The westbound side's backed up from 27th to about, looks like Hawley Road. And more delays then from the Zoo interchange crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. Southbound 43 backing up from Locust all the way down through the Marquette past Lincoln. And on the northbound side slowing from Fond du Lac Avenue up to North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a wintry mix possible up north. Showers likely, a low of 34. Tomorrow rain is likely, a half-inch total, very windy, a high of 61. Friday, it becomes sunny and mild, a high 58. Saturday, rain is likely, a high 58. Sunday, cloudy, a high of 47. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 33 degrees.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. The Economy Briefing is brought to you by Concordia University, the Batterman School of Business, and Horicon Bank, a natural choice. Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Dale, thank you so much for being with us.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
I wanted to start by having you put on your military hat. You are an officer in the Army. I know you've spoken to Iranians recently. You've been watching what's going on in Iran. Open-ended question. What jumps out to you when you think about the situation in the Middle East?
Well, it's pretty multifaceted. From an economic perspective, 20% of the world's oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. So that's going to have a significant impact. But also fertilizer. Fertilizer flows through there. So if you look at just at agriculture, for example, and you're a farmer and you're looking at exponential increases in fertilizer and fuel, it's just going to lead to a lot of uncertainty. So I think that's what you're seeing out of the administration right now is trying to send some signals that they'll wrap things up. But it's really, really, really hard to in fact, if history is the only guide, it's impossible to win regime change from the air alone. In Vietnam, we dropped more bombs on the tiny nation of Vietnam than we did in every theater in World War II combined, and was still not successful in changing the regime there. It was interesting. I had a conversation with an Iranian gentleman yesterday and just asked, what does he think? And this is anecdotal, but I still think it's interesting. And he said, that regime has oppressed those people for decades, and this is the only way it could happen. And he thinks that, and he has a lot of family there, he thinks that eventually there'll be an uprising of the people, and the people take the streets and take the government over. And that's my prayer, and I hope he's right. And the people of every nation deserve better governance than what the Iranian people had.
So what do you, when you look into your crystal ball, expect the president might say tonight? You just talked about boots on the ground. We have a lot of troops that are in that region now. Do you think he comes out, Dale, and he's more likely to say, look, another week or so, we're going to wrap this up. The Iranians are begging to talk to me. We're going to end this. Or could it be, look, we need to buckle up because this could be a long deal, and we're going to do what we need to open the strait? What do you expect to hear tonight?
Probably both. There's probably going to be some messaging saying that the cost that Americans and the world is going to have to deal with this is worth paying. And I think there'll probably be some signaling directly to the Iranian regime via this speech, which is also the American people, that the time is up. So I don't know. I mean, I a long time ago stopped trying to anticipate or make expectation what the president's going to say and do. But that would be the message that he's been hinting towards. His team, Secretary of War Hegseth and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, have signaled. So I think that's what I think you're to hear tonight.
Switching gears here, Dale, Governor, I was looking at your LinkedIn, and you were very outspoken after Governor Tony Evers vetoed a bill to join federal tax credit programs, and the governor cited concerns over expansion of school vouchers, and that's why he did the veto.
Yeah, we couldn't be more disappointed. This is a federal tax credit that was created last year. It's $1,700 and it's dollar for dollar. So in other words, if you get your tax bill and you owe $2,000 to the Fed, but you give $1,700 to a local school via this vehicle, your tax bill would go from $2,000 down to $300 because it's a dollar for dollar tax credit. This is free money, as free as money gets. And I promise you, every state will eventually take this money. Just like states have to opt into SNAP, which is food stamps or housing programs or Medicaid or highway transportation. Every state will eventually take this. But we need the money now to invest in our education system. And what really is frustrating is the messaging on this is so wrong. The messaging keeps coming back that this is going to hurt public schools. It is for public schools. It is for all schools. And public schools in Wisconsin can yield, according to Democrats for Education Reform, if just 30% of people take advantage of this opportunity that have a federal tax liability, you're talking about $500 million just there for Wisconsin schools. And at MMHC, we have a very robust plan to use employers here to raise money and get it into schools throughout the region. And we're very disappointed in this. We're going to continue to work on the governor and work on all the candidates for governor to approve this, because they can also approve it in January next year. But there's money to be had here to invest in K-12 education. Wisconsin has been falling behind our K-12 education. We need to take advantage of this opportunity in the state.
So, Dale, to recap, this is new money. This isn't money that we already have that's going to be diverted somehow away from public schools, which seems to be the implication of the governor's office. Democrats for Education Reform are urging Democratic governors across the nation to approve this. Why is this not happening? Is the governor misinformed? Is this a principled stance? I'm at a loss to figure this out.
If you get all the information, you can only come to the conclusion that the governor doesn't have all the information before him. I mean, the Democratic governor of Colorado has opted in. The Democratic governor of North Carolina has opted in. Other Democratic governors will opt into this. And you have to separate. I understand there's more than 50% of the state of Wisconsin, and definitely people that are elected office as Democrats, who say, I don't like Trump. I don't like the fact that Trump was in office when this happened. You have to divorce yourself from the politics, from the policy. And this is one of three things is going to happen. One, we do this and this money is invested in Wisconsin schools. Two, we don't do this and the money goes to U.S. Treasury. Three, this is even more egregious. Because your federal taxes are federal taxes and 501c3s that do this are federal, is that Wisconsin taxpayers can now give their money to other states that opt in: Indiana, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Colorado, North Carolina. So if we don't do this, our Wisconsin taxpayer money is going to go directly to other state students to support their education system. I will tell you personally, I will personally give money, my $1,700, I will give it to my nieces and nephews' school in the state of Tennessee or in Texas, or I don't think New Mexico is going to opt in, but I will give it to my nieces and nephews' schools, because why would you not do it? Because it's a dollar for dollar reduction in your taxes.
So this is why politics is difficult with all of this, because if we want to go and talk about a Republican governor of Wisconsin and we want to talk about federal funding that was denied, we can go right to 2010. Governor-elect Walker announced he would reject the $810 million in federal stimulus money designed to create high-speed train system. Now, and fund highways. He denied that. That was all put down. And guess who took it? Illinois. So I'm just saying that politics just is really muddying up whoever's president and the opposite side. Why is it always politics that is, rejecting federal money that we would never get anyways?
Well, that's probably a larger discussion, but I think many business leaders' analysis is that elected officials in both parties continuously don't represent the 70% of reasonable people going to work, running organizations, raising families, and it represents the fringes of the parties, and they're most fearful of the primaries and the base of the parties as opposed to being focused on what policies work and how do we get those policies done. And there's way too much shirts and skins going on in partisan politics versus a strong leadership position based on the policy and the impact it could have to improve the community.
So we're going to lose this money this time around, Dale. Do you believe whoever gets elected governor in November is likely to opt in when they're in office?
Well, we're a fighter. I'm not going to say we're going to lose money this time around yet, John. There is a chance that there's some sort of deal and Governor Evers does get there. Also, this program does not go live until January 2027. So if Governor Evers cannot get there, we're going to have an opportunity with the next governor, and the next governor is going to have the opportunity to opt us in. And there are Democratic governors that are running for office that are in favor of this policy. And I think there's going to be more and more Democratic governors already in office throughout the country who say, this is a lot of money to pass up.
Are any of our Democratic gubernatorial candidates on the record one way or the other on this issue?
We've had town halls for our members with Democratic candidates, and the Democratic candidates we've spoken to were very favorable on it. Now, I don't want to share specific names because we had a no press, confidential, open conversation. But I think it's a question people should ask and what they think about it. But the Democratic candidates we talked to half of them so far, they were very, very open to it, if not full for it. So, and we're going to keep up those relationships with all the Democratic governors. We know Tom Tiffany, the Republican, is for it, while we simultaneously continue to try to work with Governor Evers to get him there as well. So this is something that we will never give up on. We will fight for this in perpetuity until Wisconsin opts in, because this is too big of an opportunity for investment in our K-12 kids, in public, private students across the region if they opt in. We and I promise you, we're going to give it to all schools. We're going to make sure that Milwaukee Public Schools has fourth grade reading tutors and band programs, and every school has an opportunity to do robotics programs. I could go on and on and on. MMAC will personally take responsibility to make sure millions of dollars is raised and that money is put into schools, public and private, throughout the whole region to make sure that we turn up the results, reading proficiency, math proficiency, and the ability to get to music programs, art programs, sports programs. We personally promise we can make that happen.
Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you. Have a great day.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Lead with purpose and take the next step in your career. At Concordia University, Wisconsin, the Batterman School of Business offers an online MBA designed for ambitious professionals like you. Choose from 12 in-demand concentrations with flexible courses that fit your schedule and your goals. Visit cuw.edu/MBA to get started. That's cuw.edu/MBA.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life. Rejuvenex.com. People hear Horicon Bank and they think local, instantaneously.
Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization, and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million-dollar companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Clear the flight path.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff.
Stutter step, spins inside on Lopez. What a move as he rocks the rim with a two-hand jam.
The Bucks take on the Houston Rockets.
Jericho Sims, a little shake and bake.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30
on the home of the Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercier. Your top story, a jury hears body camera video from the deadly shooting of a Milwaukee police officer.
I'm Julia Fellow. A murder in Rock County.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're seeing some big delays southbound on 43 coming in from before Locust all the way down through the Marquette down past Chase Avenue. On the northbound side, very heavy from coming out of the Kilbourne Avenue tunnel all the way up to North Avenue. Westbound 94 is heavy from just west of 27th Street to Hawley Road, and then again crossing over the county line to Elm Grove Road. Eastbound's backed up from about 70th Street all the way through to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a wintry mix to the north, a low of 34. Tomorrow, rain likely, a high of 61. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the partner of slain Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder takes the stand in his alleged murderer's trial. Prosecutors played back footage from Officer Christopher McRae's body camera.
Shots fired! Shots fired! My partner's hit! Corner!
23-year-old Tremaine Jones faces 4 felony charges in Corder's death. Officer McRae was shot 3 times. Corder died from his injuries 3 days later.
In Rock County, a woman is charged with killing, she's accused of, her 14-year-old daughter, and claims that she was protecting her from Elon Musk.
Court documents indicate while on the phone with a county dispatch operator, Thais Oninsky admitted she killed her child with a knife and then attempted to take her own life. According to a criminal complaint, Oninsky said she had wanted to protect her daughter from, quote, someone else, then explained that someone was Musk, though the complaint does not explain why she thought he was a threat. A toxicology report showed Oninsky had benzodiazepines, amphetamines, and THC in her blood. She is currently in custody and returns to court April 14th. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Former tight end for the Badgers who stepped away from football because of mental health concerns 3 years ago has died. 24-year-old Jack Pugh passed away at the age of 24. Cause of death has not been released. He earned his degree from UW-Madison last year.
Later tonight, President Donald Trump is set to deliver remarks on the war in Iran.
President Trump tonight will give what a White House official calls an operational update on the progress of the war with Iran. It's not yet clear he'll have any new announcements. This official says he'll reiterate what he has said in recent days about a 2 to 3 week timeline for ending the military strikes against Iran. He's also expected to say what the administration says is success in achieving objectives, which include destroying Iran's ballistic missiles, taking out its navy, ensuring Iranian proxy groups can't destabilize the Middle East, and guaranteeing Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Coming up, a special moment for Giannis as the Bucks get back in the win column.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Redo Cabinets. Your kitchen is the heart of the home. Transform it at a fraction of the cost of a complete rebuild. After you book and order what you want to reface your cabinets with, maybe the color, the trims, crown molding even, or a backsplash, Their experienced staff gets it done fast. They can be in and out of your home within 7 days. 7. You don't have to suffer months of waiting for the heart of your home to be done with construction. And for a limited time right now, Redo Cabinets will give you free premium countertops with every refacing project. So if you ever dreamed of a kitchen island as well, Redo Cabinets can do that too. All the materials are made right here in the USA, and Redo Cabinets has family-owned roots for more than 7 decades. This is the way everyone should get a full remodel. Get rid of the headaches at a fraction of the cost of a total build-out. Head to redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com.
Hey, John Mercure here. I love Otto's Wine and Spirits. It makes me smile. Served in Milwaukee since 1945. It's where I buy my wine. It's where I buy my beer. It's where I buy my spirits. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits, employee-owned, friendly staff, 7 locations. They know what they're doing. They've got the best prices at Otto's. They've got the best selection. Open 7 days a week with several locations. Milwaukee, Menominee Falls, which is where I go. Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They are the real deal. Buy it at Otto's.
Tax tips brought to you by the Neal Group.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with today's tax tip. Why give the government an interest-free loan? I know many people use their tax refund as a type of forced savings, but there are other ways to save. Adjust your withholding to keep that money and earn interest or dividends for yourself. You earned it. We help you keep it. For more tips or if you have questions, visit nealgroup.net or call 414-325-2040. That's NEAL group.net.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Brewers win against the Rays and take the series 8-2 this afternoon at American Family Field. And the Bucks back in action tonight against the Rockets, 6:30 here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:07.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi here for QC Kinetics. There's nothing more meaningful you can do for yourself, your family, or your friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. Let me help you out. QC Kinetics takes care of the pain in their office, and you can go right on with your day. That's easy. So if you answer yes to any of these questions, you're the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help every day. Consistent joint pain in my knees, hips, shoulders, or back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to activities that I enjoy. I don't want surgery and a long recovery. I'm at the end of my rope taking meds every day to just get through. Did you answer yes to any of those questions? Today could be your day. With locations in Mequon and Greenfield, plus weekend appointments, QC Kinetic treatments are easy, done in the office. You go about your day. The consultation's free, so don't wait. It will be the most meaningful thing you do for yourself and the people who care about you. Schedule your free consultation today. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Thank God you're back, John. I'm so happy.
I'm glad I'm back, too.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. We've got a busy news situation going on, and part of it is really fun. A guy from Wisconsin, a big-time soccer player, making big-time news halfway around the world. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is in the studio with that story.
That's a good setup, John. Here's a question for both you and Julie, and anyone listening. Think back to when you were 21 years old, just a few weeks after you turned 21. Did you think in that moment you'd ever find yourself on the precipice of making history, making yourself a legend?
I remember having a horrible Cosmopolitan on my 21st birthday. That's all I remember when I was 21.
Mine was a few years before you, Julia, so I don't really remember that much.
Was it in black and white?
Good question.
Ooh,
yeah, I took the horse and buggy out to my 21st birthday party. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
32 ounces of strawberry margarita.
Okay.
Well, I don't think Esmir Bayraktarovic was having margaritas before Bosnia and Herzegovina played Team Italy in Bosnia. This was last night. So Esmir, Appleton, Wisconsin born. His parents immigrated to the U.S. in the early 2000s following the wars in the Yugoslav wars, the Balkan region. But he's very tied to his parents' nationality. Chose to represent Team Bosnia and Herzegovina as they're qualifying for the World Cup. They've only ever been to one in their nation's history. And he stands 12 yards away last night against Team Italy, dominant everyone pretty much knows that. Italy, winners of the World Cup not all that long ago. He's standing with a penalty kick. It's tied at 1-1. Can end tie. It's in a playoff game, so you kick penalties. And with a chance to make history, Esmir stands at the dot.
Bartolovic scores!
And the crowd of 9,500 in the tightly packed stadium go absolutely nuts. With that goal, Esmir propels them to just their second World Cup. And Italy, interestingly now, has missed out on its third straight tournament. So tough times for Team Italy. So our guy, Esmir, going back to his youth days, played in Milwaukee for SC Wave, which is a youth club affiliated with, we have the professional indoor team, the Milwaukee Wave, that play down at Panther Arena. He also has played with MLS for a couple of squads, and he now plays professionally in the Netherlands. I spoke with Sean Amini, who's president of the Wave, and he tells me it was clear from the get-go, our guy Esmir, different than anyone else on the team.
Doing things on the field at such a young age that like the kids just don't usually do. You knew he was going to be special, and he had the work ethic to back it up. You just knew if he stayed injury-free. I never worried about him getting in trouble because he wanted this. Like, he had that drive. You instantly.
And it's all over social media because, World Cup fever hits America every 4 years.
Yeah.
Football globally, it's always in fever mode. And this small nation in the Balkans is now welcoming our guy as their savior heading into the 2026 World Cup, which you'll recall will be right here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico this summer.
It's pretty cool because he played on our national team.
U11 through U16.
Which is really cool, the highest levels for his age group. And now his heritage, he's playing for that team, and he's got a whole nation lifted on his shoulders. And to see on social media today the excitement from Bosnians is just really cool, and it's our guy at the center of it.
Absolutely. So keep an eye out for Esmir Bayraktarovic. You'll have some time to get the pronunciation down beforehand. Bosnia will be in Group B to start things off, so they'll play Canada, Qatar, Switzerland. Team USA in Group D, playing Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey, with a chance to get to the round of 16, which is typically where Team USA kind of gets to for the men. The women have had much more success on the global stage, winning World Cups. Men's team has some work to do, but round of 16, if we can get further from there, it's going to be nuts this summer.
I'm ready. It's going to be fun. What a year for sports, right? I mean, the Olympics in the winter, the World Cup in North America coming up later this year. It's a great time, and this is just an added little bonus for those of us here in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Thanks, Adam. Of
course.
Good stuff. All right, the countdown clock is on. 11 minutes and 54 seconds until the launch windows open in Florida for Artemis 2's mission to the moon. We are joined by Brian Ewenson, formerly of Spaceport Sheboygan. He's a rocket scientist. He is in Florida. He's with us live, coming up right after traffic and weather on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. tricountycontractingwi.com.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I can really relate to the work they do at Azura right now because my mother-in-law, we're looking for an assisted living home for her, and it's hard. It's difficult. It's stressing everybody in my family out, if I'm being completely honest. I wish we were looking here in Wisconsin because Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living does it the right way every single day. They have heart and compassion and empathy, and their facilities are beautiful. If you're looking for the right place for your loved one, it's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Let me tell you, it's the real deal. They got many locations. They're Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It is Azura.
At Blaine's, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the trusted farm essentials you need for spring at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like $30 off KT Auto Darkening welding helmets, now $69.99. Save $150 on the Hobart Multi-Process Welder. Plus, new at Blaine's, shop Purina Livestock Feed. Science-backed nutrition to help animals stay healthy and productive. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20 plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no obligation consultation today.
All right, traffic and weather is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Half off all memberships when you sign up in January.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Southbound on 41, we've got backups as you're making your way down from the Zoo interchange to Greenfield Avenue. More delays than from Beloit Road down and around the Hale to about Forest Home. Eastbound 94's got backups from 70th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. Westbound, heavy from 35th Street to Hawley Road. Northbound 41 backing up from before Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. And then we've also got some delays on eastbound Capitol Drive, basically from just past Lily Road to the county line there, so give yourself that extra time heading through that area. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, wintry mix north, a low of 34 degrees. Tomorrow, rain likely, a high of 61. Friday, sunny, a high of 58. Saturday, rainy, a high of 58. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a high of 47 degrees. All eyes are on the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Well, it's probably not all eyes, but a lot of eyes are. The eyes in here are for sure.
Our eyes for sure.
The mission to the moon, Artemis 2, is on the pad, and right now they're inside of 10 minutes until that launch window opens, and there are reports that as of now it looks like it will be a go. You know who else is there? Our friend Brian Ewenson. He is a rocket scientist, an aerospace educator. You know him from his work in Sheboygan. Brian is there in Florida. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how's it going?
What does it look like? Tell us what you can see from where you are.
We're in Port Canaveral. We're about 10 miles from the launch pad. The skies have cleared out. We have no worries with the weather. There's a little bit of a hold right now for a technical problem with one of the batteries on the flight termination system, but we've got a 2-hour window to go, so we're getting ready to go back to the moon for the first time in 54 years.
All right, breaking news just in literally as we sit here, Brian. NASA has extended the hold. They say there's more work to do before the launch. They just made that announcement right now. Extend the hold. For those of us who don't deal with this all the time, does that mean they're likely going to leave them on there and they're still working through it? Or does extend the hold traditionally mean it's not scrubbed? They haven't said that, right?
No, they've definitely not said that. We have a 2-hour launch window to be able to get the vehicle off towards the moon, proper azimuth, as well as the proper alignment for lighting, etc. So the crew will remain on board. As we say, we have about 2 hours to work the problems, and they'll go through policies, procedures, if they need to replace parts. As we say, we have a good 2-hour window to do so. Unlike the space station flights where it was an instantaneous launch window, meaning we could have no more than 1 second of delay, then we'd have to take the crew off and recycle. But right now we're looking good. They're working through the issues, and we got a good full 2 hours to work those issues and still have a launch.
So, Brian, what's interesting is your perspective of a launch like this, because you've worked for NASA. You're a rocket scientist. So we can see the people that are sitting in there, the astronauts getting ready. But what is it like? Is it organized chaos? Are people yelling at each other behind the scenes with NASA? Or are people excited? What's the energy like?
Oh, the energy can be cut with a knife. It's very palatable. I've attended many rocket launches without people on board, but in particular in my job, I trained astronauts, and when you have human beings on the pointy end of a rocket that's going to accelerate to well past 10 times the speed of the world's fastest rifle bullet, you want to make sure everything works. But you can feel the tension in the air, but it's a tenuous excitement, and the whole Florida coast will shake not only from the rocket, but with the people cheering it onwards.
All right, Brian. So right now we're looking at a live picture from the Kennedy Space Center. That big famous clock that was counting down for more than an hour is now frozen. It stopped at 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes left on the countdown as they hold this. We're told that the engineers inside of NASA and the staff are now polling whether or not it's a go or a no-go. While we are standing watching this. Here's one of my questions for you, Brian, as we all kind of take this in. Shouldn't we already know how to do this? We're doing all these practice flights, and it's in 3 or 4 stages over the next 3 years. We already did this. Did we forget how to do it? Did technology change?
Oh, definitely the technology has changed. For example, when I worked in the Space Shuttle program, we had 2.9 million movable pieces, and our expected reliability was 99.9%, meaning we'll still have 2,400 systems failures on a successful flight.
So here's what's interesting is that our producer Nate is listening to what the crew is saying to the astronauts, and they're on their feet. Obviously, you're not going to be sitting as you're talking to the astronauts. She said, "Let's go. This is a new moment for our next generation in the world." So does that mean, and they're smiling. They're smiling now. So Brian, does that mean that you think it's going to go, that the clock's going to start again?
That's what we just heard from the crowd here. As I say, I don't have the TV in front of me because we want to get a front row seat. But apparently the launch director just gave a go for launch.
But the countdown clock is still frozen. It's still sitting at 10. Let me ask you this.
We normally have a 10-minute hold to check all the systems, and they will release it shortly.
Why is it important we go back to the moon?
Unlike Apollo, when we went there for 1 to 3 days, we're actually going back to stay. We're going to be establishing a base on the moon where people can live and work in that environment for up to 6 months to a year at a time. We're going to learn how to work on another planetary body, which is only 4 days away. Mars right now is very unreachable. It's 6 to 9 months to get there. You have to stay on the planet for 2 years so it lines up to come home, and another 6 to 9 month trip home. So just like Apollo 13, if something goes wrong at the moon, we can get those astronauts safely back in 3 to 4 days rather than 2 to 3 years.
Brian, what do you see around you? What do the faces look like?
Nervous anticipation. Where we are at Port Canaveral right now, there's easily about 50,000 people standing beside me and around me. And it's the first time we've been back to the moon with people in 54 years. So this is a very historic event that everyone wants to be a part of. In the local area here around the Kennedy Space Center, we're looking at approximately 500,000, 500,000 people that have traveled from around the world to get to witness history.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Julia.
I'm just thinking in 54 years, there's just 3 people on Earth that have the chance to go back to be that close to the moon. I mean, how specialized are they?
Very specialized. The crew was chosen just approximately 4 years ago. They've been in training to learn everything from geology to photography around the moon. Not to say that the space station or shuttle crews were less trained, but they're more specific into planetary geology, studies of other planetary bodies versus not generalized. But on the space station, we were studying 40, 50 different scientific disciplines. Here, we're very narrowed down to, in particular, geology, minerals that we can bring back to Earth to help make Earth a better place as well.
He is Brian Ewenson, rocket scientist, aerospace educator, former NASA guy. He's like basically the coolest guy that we know. Brian is in Florida there near the Kennedy Space Center. Brian, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Let's go, Artemis.
Let's go. Maybe in the next couple of days we can catch up, Brian. We appreciate you. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, let's check the markets. They took off like a rocket today. About time. The Dow was up 224 points. The NASDAQ was up 250. That's more than 1%, by the way. The S&P was up 47 points. The Russell 2000 was also up 16 points on the day. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. We will continue to monitor what's happening in Florida. If that bad boy starts to move off the pad down there, we'll try to bring some of that to you. It is 525.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. What if your screens could disappear until you needed them? Meet Pella's 250 series vinyl windows with the accordion hidden screen, designed to give you a clearer view with 44% more light than conventional screens. The hidden screen appears when the window opens to let in the fresh air and then tucks away when you don't need it, giving you a view that is clear, beautiful, practical, and even easier to clean. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy, and upgrade your home's overall style. With Pella, you'll get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and the way you live. They guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now's the time, because Pella of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2030. That's right, 0% until 2030. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends April 30th. I'm a Pella guy. It's the real deal. Set up your free home-in consultation today at PellaWI.com.
You probably don't have to replace those windows. If the frames are intact and it's just the glass that's cracked, or it's foggy, replacing thermal window panes with the help of Less's Glass will save you the cost of total window replacement. When you want to know how much we can save you, all you have to do is measure the height and width of just the glass portion of the window panes. Then send us an email to info@lessglassservice.com and we'll get you an estimate right away. Just be sure to specify if you'd like us to come out and replace your window pane on site, or if you'd like to do it in the most cost-effective way possible by bringing the windows into our shop. Either way, you're saving a lot of money versus a total window replacement that you probably don't need. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less. And we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Pizza. Do you remember when times were
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure, moments away from an historic mission to the moon.
I'm Julia Fellow. An assault suspect is on the run.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound 43, still a heavy ride from about North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette, off the base of the high-rise bridge, and then more delays again from Beecher down towards the KK River. On westbound 94, backing up from 27th Street to Hawley Road, eastbound slowing down from 70th Street all the way to about 35th. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Chance of a wintry mix north. Showers likely, a low of 34. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow, rain's likely, a half-inch total. Windy, a high of 61. Right now in Milwaukee, it's mostly cloudy and 33 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we're awaiting an historic launch of the Lunar Loop mission Artemis 2 to the moon. Under 5 minutes left on the countdown clock. Crews did examine a threat to the battery that threatened to delay the mission. Artemis launch director Charlie Blackwell Thompson.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, on this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go.
And we will tap into that end of the launch countdown coming up here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News Live.
And locally here, the trial of the man accused of killing a Milwaukee police officer continues with body camera footage from the night of the shooting. Officer Kendall Corder was shot and killed last summer after he and his partner Christopher McRae responded to a domestic violence call. Prosecutors played body camera footage from Officer McRae.
Shots fired! Shots fired! My partner's down! Corey!
What's the people thought on that?
We need squads here ASAP!
McRae testified he found his partner not breathing. Corder died 3 days later. 23-year-old Tremaine Jones faces 4 felony charges in the death of Officer Corder. His trial resumes tomorrow.
A Milwaukee man is facing a long list of felony charges after stealing from fast food restaurants for over a year.
47-year-old Teron Jenkins is charged with 18 counts, including multiple burglaries and attempted burglaries. The locations include McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, KFC, and Burger King. Police say Jenkins used tools to force entry, damage safes, and in some cases steal cash and surveillance equipment. Jenkins is due in court May 12th for a scheduling hearing. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A man from Milwaukee is facing a long list of felony charges after stealing from fast food restaurants for over a year. That's what he's accused of.
47-year-old Teron Jenkins is charged with 18 counts, including multiple burglaries and attempted burglaries. The locations include McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, KFC, and Burger King. Police say Jenkins used tools to force entry, damage safes, and in some cases steal cash and surveillance equipment. Jenkins is due in court May 12th for a scheduling hearing. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
President Trump weighing whether or not to use ground forces in the war in Iran. ABC's Britt Clinette.
We know that Iran says Trump's claims of regime change are false. That's according to Iranian officials. Trump, though, claiming in a post to his Truth Social platform earlier that Iran's new regime president had made the request for a ceasefire. But it really wasn't clear to whom the U.S. president was referring to, given that Iran still has the same president.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, the death toll is rising from the Israeli operation against the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militia.
Voting rights groups are pushing back on President Donald Trump's new executive order tightening mail-in ballot rules. Members of Congress are also pushing back. News Nation's Rashad Hudson.
California Independent Congressman Kevin Kiley says there are ways to make elections better.
For example, I think that just basic voter ID is something that most Americans support.
Last month, the president himself voted by mail in Florida.
Because of the fact that I'm president of the United States, I did a mail-in ballot for elections that took place in Florida, because I felt I should be here instead of being in the beautiful sunshine.
With primaries already underway, it's unclear if any of these changes would take effect this year.
The president's order calls for ballots to be sent only to voters on approved lists with trackable barcode envelopes.
Want to bring it back up to speed on our top story on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. The mission to the moon, the Artemis 2 launch, under 1 minute left. The rocket is on the pad. Let's listen to ABC News.
Booster ignition and liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
Listening to live coverage of the Artemis 2 launch mission to the moon. The rocket is
1
in
minute,
the sky.
50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2 minute 9 second mark.
That is incredible. 50,000 people, John, right by the pad.
Throttle down.
So we're watching live pictures. The next thing you'll see are those 2 solid fuel
Confirmed
boosters separate.
Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Big moment.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Oh, you can see the 2 booster rockets.
Wow. The crowd is...
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes, 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
All right, we're going to take a break. The booster rockets have separated. The mission to the moon, Artemis 2 launch, underway in Florida, almost 3 minutes into the mission to circle the moon, a 10-day mission, the first of 3 to the moon in the next 3 years. It is 5:38 at WTMJ.
A happy place comes in many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. During our spring sales event, get 10% off any home painting project, $2,500 or more. When you schedule before May 15th at participating locations, get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
Kristen, did you know that only 40% of Americans have done any estate planning and only 40% of those have been properly updated?
When it comes to wills, trusts, and probate, there's a lot at stake. I needed someone who specializes in estate planning. At Walney Legal Group, that's all they do.
No intimidating lawyers. They just provide customized, friendly, easy experience. They call it lawyering the way it should be. So whether you need your estate planning reviewed
or just getting started, visit WALNYlegal.com.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Meteorologist Lauren Larson is with us. Lauren, did you see any of those pictures of the rocket?
Yeah, I was just watching it in the Weather Center, listening to it on the radio from you guys, and it was so cool to see.
It's amazing, isn't it? The technology is phenomenal. Wow.
And the communication and the speed of the rocket, it was pretty cool.
And the clouds that it's left behind, the trail. I mean, wow, what a picture-perfect day it is in Florida, Lauren.
Yeah, it definitely looks nice right now. I know there were a few showers, 2 hours ago or so they were watching that, but it must have, obviously everything it had to have been perfect for them to launch.
Oh my, it is really, really cool. We wanted to get to you because we've got a pretty active pattern setting up, don't we, over the next few days?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I could talk for 10 minutes straight about this, but we'll try and keep it less than 10 minutes. Really a lot happening. We'll go kind of in chronological order. Yeah. So it's cold and dry right now, which is great. Once we hit about midnight, you can expect to see some showers start to make their way in. It'll be mostly rain, but across some of our northern counties. So for the TMJ4 viewing area, it's Fond du Lac County, Sheboygan County, Ozaukee County, Washington County, and Dodge County. There's a winter weather advisory in place tonight. That's for some freezing rain. We may see 1/10 of an inch of ice or 2/10 of an inch of ice at the most before the sun comes up tomorrow. So that's kind of where that line is, definitely north of 94 is kind of where you could see a little bit of that mix, a little bit of that slush. If you're in Milwaukee, we are not expecting any accumulating ice. Once the sun comes up Thursday morning, the temperatures will climb pretty quickly, which means we aren't concerned about ice anymore, and everyone is now looking at rain showers instead of this slushy mix. But it'll be a cold, rainy morning with pretty much a 100% chance of precipitation for most of the day. Then, if we have some clearing and a little bit of sunshine into the, mid-afternoon, that would kind of reset the energy in the atmosphere. And that's where we could kind of deal with some strong to severe storms into the evening. So as far as the risk for severe weather, that's going to be south of 94 as we kind of look at a warm front creeping into the area. Level 3 risk for severe weather. So when we had those storms earlier this week, we were under the level 2 risk. So now there's, a better chance. And at this point, we are talking all impacts being possible. So some hail, some gusty winds, and we're not ruling out the potential for a tornado. Time-wise, about 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Once it hits about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, this will all be cleared out. So everything I just talked about will happen really between midnight Thursday morning and 10 p.m. Thursday night.
Oh, that's going to be busy. All right, we will stay in touch with you in there. You can keep us updated. Lauren, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
It is 5:43 at WTMJ. Weather is sponsored by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic. Hey, John Mercure here for the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. April's Donate Life Month, a time to recognize the impact of organ donation and the lives it can save. Right now, more than 100,000 people across the country are waiting for a life-saving transplant. We spoke with Dr. Emily Joachim, a transplant nephrologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. You can hear that conversation at WTMJ.com.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know when inspiration rises, we'll have what you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Get a head start on spring savings with $7 off Estate Crabgrass Preventer, just $29.99, 20% off all Jiffy Seed starting accessories, and get $2 off assorted AgriMaster livestock feed. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94 backing up right now from about 68th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to about 35th. Westbound slowing down from 35th Street to Hawley Road. Southbound on 43 backing up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Back on the brakes from Beecher Street down towards Lincoln. We've also got northbound 41 backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The Economy Briefing is brought to you by Concordia University, the Batterman School of Business, and Horicon Bank, a natural choice. Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Dale, thank you so much for being with us.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
I wanted to start by having you put on your military hat. You are an officer in the Army. I know you've spoken to Iranians recently. You've been watching what's going on in Iran. Open-ended question. What jumps out to you when you think about the situation in the Middle East?
Well, it's pretty multifaceted. From an economic perspective, 20% of the world's oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. So that's going to have a significant impact. But also fertilizer. Fertilizer flows through there. So if you look at just at agriculture, for example, and you're a farmer and you're looking at exponential increases in fertilizer and fuel, it's just going to lead to a lot of uncertainty. So I think that's what you're seeing out of the administration right now is trying to send some signals that they'll wrap things up. But it's really, really, really hard to, in fact, if history is the only guide, it's impossible to win regime change from the air alone. In Vietnam, we dropped more bombs on the tiny nation of Vietnam than we did in every theater in World War II combined, and was still not successful in changing the regime there. It was interesting. I had a conversation with an Iranian gentleman yesterday and just asked, what does he think? And this is anecdotal, but I still think it's interesting. And he said that regime has oppressed those people for decades, and this is the only way it could happen. And he thinks that, and he has a lot of family there, he thinks that eventually there'll be an uprising of the people, and the people take the streets and take the government over. And that's my prayer, and I hope he's right. And the people of every nation deserve better governance than what the Iranian people had.
So what do you, when you look into your crystal ball, expect the president might say tonight? You just talked about boots on the ground. We have a lot of troops that are in that region now. Do you think he comes out, Dale, and he's more likely to say, look, another week or so, we're going to wrap this up. The Iranians are begging to talk to me. We're going to end this. Or could it be, look, we need to buckle up because this could be a long deal, and we're going to do what we need to open the strait? What do you expect to hear tonight?
Probably both. There's probably going to be some messaging saying that the cost that Americans and the world is going to have to deal with this is worth paying. And I think there'll probably be some signaling directly to the Iranian regime via this speech, which is also the American people, that the time is up. So I don't know. I mean, I've a long time ago stopped trying to anticipate or make expectation what the president's going to say and do. But that would be the message that he's been hinting towards his team. Secretary of War Hegseth and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, have signaled. So I think that's what I think you're to hear tonight.
Switching gears here, Dale, Governor, I was looking at your LinkedIn, and you were very outspoken after Governor Tony Evers vetoed a bill to join federal tax credit programs, and the governor cited concerns over expansion of school vouchers, and that's why he did the veto.
Yeah, we could be more disappointed. This is a federal tax credit that was created last year. It's $1,700 and it's dollar for dollar. So in other words, if you get your tax bill and you owe $2,000 to the Fed, but you give $1,700 to a local school via this vehicle, your tax bill would go from $2,000 down to $300 because it's a dollar for dollar tax credit. This is free money, as free as money gets. And I promise you, every state will eventually take this money. Just like states have to opt into SNAP, which is food stamps or housing programs or Medicaid or highway transportation. Every state will eventually take this. But we need the money now to invest in our education system. And what really is frustrating is the messaging on this is so wrong. The messaging keeps coming back that this is going to hurt public schools. It is for public schools. It is for schools. And public schools in Wisconsin can yield, according to Democrats for Education Reform, if just 30% of people take advantage of this opportunity that have a federal tax liability, you're talking about $500 million just there for Wisconsin schools. And at MMHC, we have a very robust plan to use employers here to raise money and get it into schools throughout the region. And we're very disappointed in this. We're going to continue to work on the governor and work on all the candidates for governor to approve this, because they can also approve it in January next year. But there's money to be had here to invest in K-12 education. Wisconsin has been falling behind our K-12 education. We need to take advantage of this opportunity in the state.
So, Dale, to recap, this is new money. This isn't money that we already have that's going to be diverted somehow away from public schools, which seems to be the implication of the governor's office. Democrats for Education Reform are urging Democratic governors across the nation to approve this. Why is this not happening? Is the governor misinformed? Is this a principled stance? I'm at a loss to figure this out.
If you get all the information, you can only come to the conclusion that the governor doesn't have all the information before him. I mean, the Democratic governor of Colorado has opted in. The Democratic governor of North Carolina has opted in. Other Democratic governors will opt into this. And you have to separate. I understand there's more than 50% of the state of Wisconsin, and definitely people that are elected office as Democrats, who say, I don't like Trump. I don't like the fact that Trump was in office when this happened. You have to divorce yourself from the politics, from the policy. And this is one of three things is going to happen. One, we do this and this money is invested in Wisconsin schools. Two, we don't do this and the money goes to U.S. Treasury. Three, this is even more egregious. Because your federal taxes are federal taxes and 501c3s that do this are federal, is that Wisconsin taxpayers can now give their money to other states that opt in: Indiana, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Colorado, North Carolina. So if we don't do this, our Wisconsin taxpayer money is going to go directly to other state students to support their education system. I will tell you personally, I will personally give money, my $1,700, I will give it to my nieces and nephews' school in the state of Tennessee or in Texas, or I don't think New Mexico is going to opt in, but I will give it to my nieces and nephews' schools, because why would you not do it? Because it's a dollar for dollar reduction in your taxes.
So this is why politics is difficult with all of this, because if we want to go and talk about a Republican governor of Wisconsin and we want to talk about federal funding that was denied, we can go right to 2010. Governor-elect Walker announced he would reject the $810 million in federal stimulus money designed to create high-speed train system. Now, and fund highways. He denied that. That was all put down. And guess who took it? Illinois. So I'm just saying that politics just is really muddying up whoever's president and the opposite side. Why is it always politics that is, rejecting federal money that we would never get anyways?
Well, that's probably a larger discussion, but I think many business leaders' analysis is that elected officials in both parties continuously don't represent the 70% of reasonable people going to work, running organizations, raising families, and it represents the fringes of the parties, and they're most fearful of the primaries and the base of the parties as opposed to being focused on what policies work and how do we get those policies done. And there's way too much shirts and skins going on in partisan politics versus a strong leadership position based on the policy and the impact it could have to improve the community.
So we're going to lose this money this time around, Dale. Do you believe whoever gets elected governor in November is likely to opt in when they're in office?
Well, we're a fighter. I'm not going to say we're going to lose money this time around yet, John. There is a chance that there's some sort of deal and Governor Evers does get there. Also, this program does not go live until January 2027. So if Governor Evers cannot get there, we're going to have an opportunity with the next governor, and the next governor is going to have the opportunity to opt us in. And there are Democratic governors that are running for office that are in favor of this policy. And I think there's going to be more and more Democratic governors already in office throughout the country who say, it's a lot of money to pass up.
Are any of our Democratic gubernatorial candidates on the record one way or the other on this issue?
We've had town halls for our members with Democratic candidates, and the Democratic candidates we've spoken to were very favorable on it. Now, I don't want to share specific names because we had a no press, confidential, open conversation. But I think it's a question people should ask them what they think about it. But the Democratic candidates we talked to half of them so far, they were very, very open to it, if not full for it. So, and we're going to keep up those relationships with all the Democratic governors. We know Tom Tiffany, the Republican, is for it, while we simultaneously continue to try to work with Governor Evers to get him there as well. So this is something that we will never give up on. We will fight for this in perpetuity until Wisconsin opts in, because this is too big of an opportunity for investment in our K-12 kids, in public, private students across the region if they opt in. And I promise you, we're going to give it to all schools. We're going to make sure that Milwaukee Public Schools has fourth grade reading tutors and band programs, and every school has an opportunity to do robotics programs. I could go on and on and on. MMAC will personally take responsibility to make sure millions of dollars is raised and that money is put into schools, public and private, throughout the whole region to make sure that we turn up the results, reading proficiency, math proficiency, and the ability to get to music programs, art programs, sports programs. We personally promise we can make that happen.
Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you. Have a great day.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable